This should only be about 30 minutes, just a quick overview of the partnering platform. So let's get started. So you should have received an email from RESI. Welcome to the RESI JPM 2023 partnering system. And in that email will be a link that will bring you directly to your homepage. So it'll look like this and it'll have your name there. So the first thing that I like, let me show you the homepage. So here, you can watch some partnering and tutorial videos here. And the homepage also kind of has this nice little guide on how to get started step by step. So this is everything that we're going to go over today: updating your profile, setting your schedule, requesting meetings, and then how to join a meeting. So the first thing I like to do is go to my account here. And everyone, if you have more than one attendee from your company, their names will be here. So you can go in and set up your password here, actually, if you'd like to. I do recommend bookmarking that link from the email, but if it's easier for you to set up a password, you can do that here. Little bio. You can also add a headshot, which is nice. It's good for the investors to put a face to the name before they meet. So yeah, that's how you set up your profile. And then you want to set up your company profile. So ours looks a little different because we're not a startup company. So I will show you what it looks like. So here is a great example. There is a business profile you can fill out. You're actually able to upload your pitch deck and your executive summary to this profile. And I'll also show you in a little what that looks like from the front end. Fill out your main sector. You might see that some of these are already chosen, but just be sure to go through and check any that resonate with your company. Your subsector, your indications, phase of development, all that good stuff. And then here's where we have some more text boxes. So there's a technology overview part you can fill out, supporting metrics or evidence, alliances and collaborations, current financing needs. I definitely recommend filling out this section, current investors, your timeline, your IP status, your management team highlights. This is a nice section I definitely recommend filling out as well. And then your recent milestones. Make sure you save. And then you can also upload a logo here, your company logo. Okay, so once your profile is all set, the next thing I like to do is set up my schedule. So for those of you who have joined RESI in the past, this part is a little bit different visually. So if you just want to follow along, we'll go over this. So you'll see here that instead of having the two different time zones listed on top of each other, you can toggle it here. So obviously our event's going to be in San Francisco. So this is West Coast time, but I am in Massachusetts. So if I toggle back over, this will follow the Massachusetts time. And you can see all of the sessions and workshops we have going on. You can also see very small, but I've added this workshop to my itinerary already, and it has a little checkbox there. And if I haven't added it yet, it'll have a little plus sign. But I've been playing around in this, and I like to view this by the day. And you can see here that it breaks up by different sessions. So it'll have your itinerary. So anything that you've added will be here in this column. Innovators Pitch Challenge sessions will be here. The workshops and then the panels. So for example, to add one, we'll click into this Innovators Pitch Challenge session. We'll go to details. These are the companies that are in this session. I'm going to add it to my schedule. Okay, and now I'm going to go back to my schedule. And we can see that it's been added here under my itinerary column. Partnering for Tuesday is from 8 to 5. So that is what your schedule will allow you for meetings. But it's also important to remember that we have 2 virtual partnering days on Wednesday and on Thursday, which do run 24/7. So you want to make sure that you go in and you update your schedule. So I already did Wednesday, but I'll show you Thursday. So all you have to do is click that and it'll move you to unavailable. So I'll block off my schedule for these obscene hours I don't want to take a meeting at. And it's important to do this because when you send an investor or anyone a meeting request and they accept, it's going to automatically set you up for the first 30-minute time slot that you both have available. So if you don't make that update, then it might schedule you for like a 3 o'clock meeting, depending on the time zone and the availability. So this is a really important step to just make sure that you block off those. Okay, so my schedule looks good. I'm all set. I've added the sessions I want to attend. Once you have meetings confirmed, they'll show up on here as well with the location. And when you're at the conference on Tuesday, the 10th, and you check in, we can actually print you your schedule. So you'll have all of your sessions that you added, your meetings and the locations, you'll have them all on a piece of paper. So you don't have to keep pulling this up on your phone or your laptop. So when you check in, if you want a printable itinerary, just make sure to ask us and we'll get that for you. Okay, so our schedule is good. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is start looking for my list of investors to begin reaching out to. So I'm going to go to search up at the top. And I'm going to come down here to groups. So you can break this up by the groups you want to see. So I want to look at the investors. And then you can start filling in filters to your specific company. So if you're looking for a specific type of investor, you can do that here, but I'm going to leave this open. But as you can see, there are 10 different types of investors that are going to be at RESI JPM. So let's say we are a therapeutics company with indications in cancer oncology. Our product is phase 1. And we want to look at all countries. Again, you can break up the countries as well, but we'll just do this for now. So we have 113 profiles here. So as we're going through, they're going to list alphabetically. You can press this little arrow and it's going to drop down their profile. So you can read about them and see if they're a good fit. You can see what their main sector and indications, interests are, their year founded. And then we can see the investors who are attending from this company, this investor company. So when you are starting your outreach, you want to make sure that you are clicking book meeting for your first message. If you just send them a message, they will not receive a meeting request. So make sure that your first message that goes out is always a book a meeting. Okay, so I'm going to book a meeting with Danny. You can add your colleagues here. So I want my colleague Alex to join us, and then you can put in a message here. So, hi Danny, I think we'd be a good fit. This is my company XYZ. Are you sure you want to request this meeting? Send. And then you'll see that you have sent the meeting request on your homepage. You'll see what you're waiting to hear back from and how many confirmed meetings you have as well on your homepage. So once you've booked a meeting or sent a meeting request, you will see that under their name here, it'll say requested meeting. And then if you don't hear back from Danny, you can start to send a message to follow up. So once you've sent a message to them, Once you've sent the initial meeting request, you'll have them under your messages, and you can go here to then send your follow-up message. Hi, Danny, would really like to meet with you. Here's some information about our management team, send, and then you have a list of messages here, your chat. A couple of other things I just want to show you guys. So if you're going through here, and say you find out this company might not be a good fit for your company type, you can bookmark this. You can prioritize it as well, but you can also write a note. So we can say not a fit. So then you can move on, or you can make a note like, I've met with Danny before, not going to reach out this time, but want to bump into Danny at the conference, just so you have a little note. So as I mentioned, these are ordered alphabetically. So if one day you go in and you go through all of the investor profiles that are a good fit for you, you send out your initial book a meeting message, and you do your follow-ups, and you come back, you put in your same filters, and you realize that the number has gone up and there's more investors in this filter that are a fit for you. So what you can do here is you can order them by date approved. So the last investors that were added will be here, and you can start your outreach from the beginning. So with book a meeting, making sure you're booking a meeting first, and then following up by sending a message. As I mentioned, you can come up to the top here and click your messages to see your chat history with everyone that you've sent a message to. And then you'll see here, if anyone's requested a meeting from you, this will be here. If you've sent a message out and haven't heard from anyone, that number will be here. And then your confirmed meetings will be here. They'll list the person, the time, the place, and I believe it'll list the company as well, but you can click in to them and to get more information. Just a couple of other things I want to go over on the partnering platform. One here is this writing tips. And this is to kind of help you draft your messages when reaching out. And if you missed it last week, I did do a workshop on crafting your messages and your follow-up messages and how often you should be sending them and what types of information you should be including. So in the follow-up message that we send out tomorrow from this workshop, I'll include the link so you guys can view it if you didn't get a chance to. But here is a nice breakdown of what your message should include. So this is a nice resource for you. You can also go to the RESI website from here to see what we have going on. And then you can see the partnering platform, you can see partnering platform 101 and also the partnering by video 101 for your reference. Trying to think if there's anything else. I think we covered everything. Just one last, I want to show you guys what the profiles look like with the executive summaries, but let me show you this. So this was the company that I showed you the example of. So when you drop down the arrow, you can see right here, their pitch deck and their executive summary are uploaded for easy viewing from the investors. So they can just take a look at your pitch deck, take a look at your executive summary before they meet or before they decide if you're a good fit for them. So all that information is there. This is what it looks like. All right, I think that's it. I think I covered everything. Let me just check the Q&A and see if anyone has any questions. Someone asked if we can expect to see the investor numbers grow, and the answer is yes. We will see more investors being added to the partnering platform up until the conference. Really from now until then is when we see the most activity of the investors coming in. So yes, you will absolutely see more investors being added. Okay, this is a good question, and this is something I didn't cover, so thank you for asking. If I send a request to book the meeting and the investor is willing to meet, who will schedule the meeting? So if you send a meeting request and they accept, it'll automatically get set up on your schedule for a 30-minute time slot. That's why I mentioned it's very important to make sure you set up your schedule so that it'll fall within a time frame that is appropriate for you. And then when you have your meetings, here, let me do. Once your meeting is scheduled, you can go to your schedule, you can click into the session, and it'll bring you to a video where you can start the session, you can start the meeting, you can add colleagues to the meeting if they join late, you can remove them if they're unable to meet, and that's how you're able to join the meeting. See if they have a visual of this. So this is what it'll look like here, and you'll press start the meeting, and the meeting will start. Someone asked, how quickly do the sessions normally fill up? What percentage of invites generally get accepted? So the sessions fill up really quick, but there is no limit to who is allowed to attend. So even if it's not on your schedule, you didn't add it, you can still walk in and view the session while you're there with us in person. The percentage of invites that generally get accepted is kind of a hard question to answer, but and something I talk about in my last video is that it's really important to follow up. The outcome of what you get through partnering really relies on the amount of effort that you put into it. So just sending one initial book a meeting request is not enough for these investors. You need to send them follow-up messages with additional information about your company. They want to get a good idea of what you have going on before they accept the meetings. How do we schedule virtual versus in-person meetings? If you are registered for virtual partnering, your schedule won't be open on that first day. You'll only be able to schedule them on the second day, which again runs 24/7. So it's really important that you set up your schedule to reflect the time that you're available. And again, it'll just automatically set you and the person up for whatever time you have available. Like it's like the first time slot that you both have available, it'll set you up for that. Is the partnering by video a Zoom link? No, it's not. It is a PowerPoint. We do have this recorded and previous ones recorded on our website. The timeline part meets timeline for projects after funding. This is a good question. The timeline part in your bio can really be, whatever timeline you're following, what your expectations are after you've raised your round, what you're going to do with that money, I think is more so what it's looking for. But yeah, whatever, timeline, future timeline you have for your company. If you need to reschedule, there is a way to reschedule your meetings. When you go into it on your calendar, you can press reschedule. And again, it'll automatically set you up in a different time. Thomas, I see your question and I will need to look into that. Thomas said he sent a message before he requested a meeting, but when he went back, and clicked request a meeting, it came back that nothing was available. Can you explain this? Is this because I sent a message first? I don't believe so. You should be able to book a meeting even though you've sent a message. So let me look into that and I will follow up with you personally on that. What about meetings in person in San Francisco? Do you have a location for those? There will be meeting tables in a partnering designated area at the conference at the Marines Memorial Hotel. And when your meeting gets confirmed, it will give you a spot to meet in. It'll tell you, table 14, and you'll have a 30-minute meeting there. How quickly do investors' schedules fill up? It's a good question. I mean, that's kind of hard to answer. But if you're unable to meet with them in person, if you're unable to get a meeting time in person, I would try to bump into them while you're there and still schedule a virtual meeting. You can meet in the hallway and say, hey, I know we didn't get a chance to get a time on the schedule for our in-person day today, but let's still try and meet tomorrow or on Thursday. But that's a good question. Are meetings scheduled for the 10th by default in-person meetings? Yes. So if you are in person, the system is going to set you up for that in-person day if the investor is also in person. If not, it's going to move you to the 11th. And if there's no meeting times, then it'll move you to the 12th. If you would like to meet with people who are also in San Francisco and are not, and you're only able to get a virtual time, you can chat through the partnering platform and find a location. If, again, your schedule didn't allow it for the first day, but you're still in town and want to meet with them in person, you can chat through the messaging part and find an area to meet in person. All right, I think that's it for all the questions. I hope I went over everything for you guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to resi@lifesciencenation.com. It's listed right here on your partnering login. If you're unable to find your login information, you can reach out to us there as well, and we'll send that over to you. But thank you guys so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we are very excited to see you all in San Francisco.